Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to take one of the most common, most ignored notices on the entire internet, and we're going to treat it like a primary source document. Like something we'd pull apart in a political science class. Let's dive in. You know the drill. You've seen it a million times. You click a link, and your browser just kind of pauses to tell you it's taking you somewhere else. But what if I told you that in that tiny split second, there's a really fascinating lesson about power, control, and choice? What is really going on there? Okay, so this right here, this is our artifact for today. Looks simple, right? Maybe even a little boring? Well, not quite. This little box actually contains a hidden story about how information is managed and, more importantly, presented to you. Let's start breaking it down. So here's our approach for today. We are going to analyze every single part of this notice, the text, the link it contains, the very action it describes, as if we're political scientists. We're going to dissect how power actually works in our digital world. First up, let's look at the destination itself. See, the notice tells you where you're going before you even get there, and that alone is a pretty powerful act. This is our first clue. Now, take a look at the full URL from our source notice. That's not just a web address. It's practically a headline all on its own. It's long, it's descriptive, and it's already telling us a very, very specific story before we've even read a single word of the article. And if we just pull out the keywords, a narrative starts to form almost immediately. We see things like Assam passport row, police search, FIR by Himantha's wife, and Assam election. Now, these are not neutral terms, right? They are loaded with political context, and they immediately set a scene of conflict and official action. And this right here perfectly illustrates a core concept in political communication, media framing. By choosing these specific words for the URL, the creator is framing the story. They are highlighting certain aspects, the conflict, the police action, to guide your interpretation before you even arrive. It is the very first exercise of power we see here. Okay, let's move on to the next part of our analysis. We've examined the what, the URL. Now let's look at the how. The redirect itself. This action is a powerful yet often totally invisible force. The journey is incredibly simple, and honestly, that's the whole point. You start on one page, and then without you doing anything at all, you are pushed to another. It is a totally passive experience, and it's designed to be seamless. You are actively being guided or gate-kept on a very specific information path. In political science, this is known as gatekeeping. A gatekeeper is the one who decides what information gets through and what doesn't. And in the digital world, well, a redirect is basically a form of automated gatekeeping. The system has decided that this specific article, with that specific frame, is what you need to see next. It's controlling the flow of information, and by doing that, it's controlling your attention. And this, of course, leads us to a pretty fundamental question. Who is the gatekeeper here? Is it the original website, an algorithm? And what's their motive for sending you to this specific pre-framed story? I mean, these are the exact kinds of questions political scientists ask to understand power structures. But there is one more piece to this puzzle. It's probably the most overlooked part of the notice, but from a political standpoint, it's arguably the most important. It's where you, the user, finally enter the equation. Let's look really closely at this last line. After you've been subjected to all that framing and all that gatekeeping, you are given a choice. It's a small one, sure, but it's a crucial one. You can return. For just a brief moment, the system hands the power right back to you. And this just brilliantly illustrates the political dynamic that's at play. Proceeding, well, that's the path of least resistance. You just accept the gatekeeper's choice and you consume the framed story. But returning? That is an act of agency. That's choosing to reject the path you've been put on, to maybe question why you were being sent there in the first place. It's a small, but really meaningful assertion of your own control. So, what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that political dynamics like power, control, and choice, they aren't just for parliaments and campaigns. They are literally coded into the very architecture of our digital lives. So let's just recap what we've managed to uncover from this one simple notice. The descriptive URL, that's an act of media framing, shaping your perception. The automatic redirect itself is a mechanism for digital gatekeeping, controlling information flow. And that simple little option to go back, that's your moment of digital agency. It's your chance to exercise choice within the system. So the next time you see a redirect notice, you won't just see a technical message. Nope. You'll see a tiny political drama unfolding in a fraction of a second. A whole story of framing, gatekeeping, and your own power to choose. So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time your browser takes a detour, what politics will you see?